The double episode coverage continues, this time with Digimon Ghost Game. Before we get started, I need to make a very important announcement to save the community from itself, okay? 3, 2, 1. No looting Jellymon! Do I make myself clear? We've been down this road before, Digimon fandom. We're down it constantly, actually. But no, now is the time to gain some respect and legitimacy. So no looting and no weird hentai of whatever the jellyfish thing is. Do I make myself clear? Okay, let's continue. So, these two episodes of Digimon Ghost Game continue the trend of this show being horrifying and kind of fucked up in all the right ways. First up, episode 4, their Halloween episode, is, oh my god, what the fuck? So the premise to this one is that Hiro and the girl, I don't remember her name yet, they are involved in setting up some kind of Halloween community center thing, and there's lots of pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns and Gamamon keeps going, turkey or treatment, and that has nothing to do with anything, but it's adorable, so it needs to be mentioned. But yeah, no, so the idea is that they're doing this thing, and I know Halloween has gotten very popular over the last few years in Japan. I don't know a ton about Halloween in Japan, but I know it gets kind of wild. But this presents it very kiddie, very innocent. There's just like pumpkins and jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, and we kind of get this sort of interesting idea that you've got Pumpkinmon who got sent over to the real world, and has just kind of been wandering lost and alone and wanting friends. And when he sees the pumpkins and the jack-o'-lanterns, it kind of makes him feel welcomed and invited, and like there's people like him. So he then lets that go crazy, and he then proceeds to start kidnapping people, and I had no idea what the fuck was going on. Like, I guess he just took the pumpkin, slammed it on their heads, and then carved a jack-o'-lantern, and didn't, like, cut them or anything. But there's something weirdly more horrifying about it being something that could actually happen. Like, alright, episode 1, Clockmon steals your time or whatever and turns you into a withering old hag. Alright, it's scary, but, like, that's not gonna happen to you. I assume. It's been a long time since I've been to Atlantic City. Episode 2, Mummymon, wraps you up and is, like, thinking that will heal you. Alright, that could sorta happen. I mean, it's been a long time since I've been to Atlantic City, but it doesn't feel that plausible. Episode 3, parts of your body vanish and you get into accidents. I mean, again, haven't been to Atlantic City in a while, so that might still be happening down there. But, you know, doesn't really feel like something that could happen. But there's just something more horrifying, which is like a knife that could just go through your fucking head while someone carves a jack-o'-lantern out of you. It's terrifying, and happens a lot in Atlantic City. The moral of the story, Atlantic City is a frickin' cesspool. My apologies if any of you are from Atlantic City, but you won't be seeing me again. It's fine. Anyways. So yeah, that happened, and like, I guess he just sort of ties them up, and I guess he just didn't have a plan. He just like had a mental breakdown, and getting beat up by, what's it called, Gamamon's Digivolution is what did the trick, and that's how the plot gets solved, and again, it's just fucking horrifying. But in terms of, like, main things about the episode, I like the idea of Hiro and the girl kind of bond. I'm glad they don't, like, try and set up a little romance thing, because they kind of like doing that in Digimon, and I don't know if any time any romance in Digimon has really worked. But yeah, no, and I like that she, like, kind of starts feeling comfortable with him immediately, and wants to be friends, and says, you know, you can call me by my first name, all that good stuff. That was very nice, and it was very touching. But the main thing was that we got a little sort of, like, actual world building going on, and that is Angoromon explains how the digital world works to the best of his ability. What I like is that there's a very clear difference between all three of these Digimon personality-wise. One problem all the Digimon seasons have, this isn't just me riffing on 2020, all of them have this kind of problem, is that a lot of times the Digimon don't have super well-defined personalities. They're just kind of like complementary to whoever they're teamed up with. Occasionally you'll get one who feels unique, like a Gomamon or a Wormmon, or Season 3 actually does a pretty good job of it, but they're very much just kind of like side pieces for the main characters. But what I kind of like here is that everyone has a very well-defined personality, so it totally makes sense that Angoromon would just be very calm and explain everything and try to work with everyone, while Gaomon's just sitting there fooling around. Gaomon obviously wasn't able to really tell anyone anything of use. So I quite like that scene, actually. It's really quite a nice way to just get it, and I like that this time around there's no, like, big mystery to the digital world, something I feel like the first 2 seasons didn't do quite right, honestly, when all was said and done. I like that idea that it's just, there was a virus, and then it grew, and it became powerful, and it created Digimon, and something, somewhere, somehow, probably big evil Digimon they gotta fight later, is causing us to seep into the real world, and it's just kind of causing problems. And I like that this week's episode, it wasn't a Digimon who was necessarily trying to be malicious, he wasn't trying to be angry, he wasn't trying to hurt people. I like that it's just the side effects of this unfortunate, strange circumstance our heroes have to fix. Pumpkinmon just kind of wound up showing up, and then just kind of like wound up just going like crazy. But then, of course, our heroes fix it. Everyone is fine. Episode over. I still kind of would like to see our Digimon actually win a fight. And just my cathartic inner 8-year-old wants to see the heroes beat the shit out of somebody. But then we have this week's episode, which introduces the, gives us our formal introduction to the third main character, the kind of, the gray-haired dude, and his Digimon, Jellymon. Again, no looting. And I really like this dynamic between the two. I kind of like it. It's very Joe and Gomamon to me. He's kind of this like stress-filled kind of worrywart. I like that he does try to come off as cool and calm, and he does feel some level of control and intelligence. So it's not quite like Joe in that respect. But just kind of like what's been going on is Jellymon has been around for a while. And it's just been, like, driving him crazy just because she likes to cause trouble. Which is funny, though it is interesting because this means that him and the girl have more or less the same dynamic with their Digimon, just where Angolamon just kind of, like, was hanging around, just liking her music. He also had it, his Digimon was around for a while, but causing trouble. Also sort of interesting, I guess they're not really going down the route of any sort of, like, potential infatuation that Angolamon has for the girl, which I was more joking about last time than anything else, because like that's what they had done with the pink-haired girl in Appley Monsters with her Digimon. But this time around, it sort of seems like based on the way it was at the end, the way Jellymon goes, my darling, kind of makes you think that might be where that's going. But no, that's fun. I like the dynamic. I like that everyone has a very well-defined dynamic with their respective Digimon. I also like that Jellymon is very good at chewing scenery, and even though I don't always like more humanoid designed monsters in these types of franchises, i.e. Pokemon, I fucking hate Inteleon. There's nothing to do with anything, I just really hate Inteleon. What I like with Jellymon is that they take full advantage of what the more humanoid movements and expressions allow. She's able to express more personality, she's able to express more movement and desire, and you can kind of get an idea of what she's thinking through that in a way you would with a human, and it makes her feel very different from the other two. And yeah, it just really works. And I thought it was funny. Her lightning attack shoots up. She makes like a little pose. That's funny. I do think it's sort of funny that the opponents for this episode was just like, was that a Deva? If I'm remembering correctly, that was one of the Devas from season 3. It's like these like super all-powerful Digimon who have shown up because he's fucking with capitalism. And we will not let capitalism be warned. Am I right, my fellow capitalists? I don't have a version of that joke that doesn't get weird fast. But anyways, yeah, so they've come because she took his computer talisman that was to protect him from her, and she turned it into a money laundering scheme, and these guys were like, no, wealth must flourish. So they come to destroy him, and they gotta, like, rewrite the program to fix anything. It's such a strange, ridiculous, convoluted plot. How can you not just love it? But yeah, no, that was these 2 episodes of Digimon Ghost Game. I like the way everything's progressing. I like the way the characters have all been introduced. I like everyone. I like that it's kind of just been based around them coming together. We don't need a lot of plot. It's just kind of, here's some weird shit that's happening, and here's your 3 likable leads who gotta fix it, and that's what I want. But what did you think about it? In the comment section below, give me your thoughts on these 2 episodes, and as always, click to like, click to subscribe, and join me next week where hopefully we start getting the other 2 getting in some Digivolution time.